This video is just going to be kind of, I guess, more of a question and answer video. More about, kind of taking care of your collection of cameras. Yeah, so this part is going to deal with like kind of storing them, cleaning them if you need to do that. So obviously the ideal situation is to have them up on a shelf or in a cabinet. But for a lot of people that don't have that option, this video might be helpful. So the first option is probably the cheapest option, but not very safe. So the first one is just an open-faced cardboard box. Second option, it's just this average little Ikea storage box. It is made out of cardboard, but there are metal screws. Third option is this plastic container, shoebox container. So those were the three alternatives. Obviously, there are a lot more options. These were just three of the cheapest ones that I could think of. This one is pretty much free. This one's $3, and this one is $1 at your local dollar store or a Canadian Tire. Or you could beat all these prices and buy these used or new at a yard sale for practically nothing, which I recommend. So yeah, moving on. So in this part of the video, I'm going to show you how to clean your camera, even though most of the time it's really not necessary. Pretty much 75% of the cameras I haven't cleaned them once. Maybe that's a bad thing, I don't know. None of them are filthy that they need to be cleaned. These are just a couple tips that I think would work if you do need to clean them. So the first option is obviously the most gentle option, and that's just using these brand new paint brushes and just literally wiping the dust off. And this is obviously if your camera only has some surface dust. Second option, if there is actually dirt on your camera, I recommend using just water. I'm not a professional or anything like that, but for me, just from my experience, getting some water in a little spray bottle and spraying it on either a paper towel or a microfiber cloth, and just literally lightly, almost like sanding the surface until you get that dirt off. And that's pretty much it. I don't recommend using any, harsh cleaners or anything like that. So I'm just gonna give you guys kind of 3 different tips on starting a camera collection or maybe growing your camera collection. I have minimum over 200 cameras. That's obviously not a lot compared to some other people, but that's a lot for me. So first tip is, if you're at a flea market or an estate sale or garage sale and you come across a camera that you already have in your collection, I'm just gonna say I have 2 of these, and you can buy it for cheap, buy it. Even if you already have it, First of all, most likely if it's a garage sale or estate sale, you're actually saving it. Usually the people just throw it out, but buy it, and then later on you can actually trade one of these for, let's say, a new camera that you're into or whatever. But definitely buy doubles if you can. If it's cheap enough, buy doubles, because you can trade with other people that don't have that, and then you're able to get a new camera into your collection, and you're also most likely saving them too. So buy doubles if you can, or triples. Second tip, I guess it's a tip, is buy the cheap cameras. Like in my area, the Brownie Reflex and the Brownie Hawkeye Flash and non-flash version are literally a dime a dozen. So buy up all of these if you can. If you have the money, obviously do that. Usually if there's a lot of them, they don't go for that much. It's a great way to start your collection, and actually you can sell them off later, but it's a great way to start your collection. But do that. Buy the cheap ones. They're still really cool, and obviously you can trade and sell them later. The third piece of advice for me is really amazing. Commit to it and learn everything you can about cameras. I'm definitely ignorant in that field, but definitely learn as much as you can about these, because then you start gaining knowledge, and obviously you're able to kind of differentiate between expensive cameras and inexpensive cameras, and also commit to doing this, because personally, once you start doing it, first of all, it's addicting, but you have to make sure you're committed to it, just because it's more fun that way. You know what I mean? Don't just do half-ass, like go all the way if you can. So those are my three pieces of advice. I don't know if they were helpful or not, but I recommend doing those three options if you want to start collecting cameras or growing your collection. So I hope some of that advice was helpful. If you do have any questions, obviously, write them down. Thanks for watching.